So thank you for joining, Heather. Appreciate it. We've been
Welcome.
chatting a little bit before we started the recording, but we'll officially greet each other now on the recording. And like I said earlier, I always appreciate your background. A little sparkle in the evenings. Nice to see. Well, evening for me.
Yeah, lunchtime for me.
Lunchtime for you, but evening for me.
Tomorrow. Tomorrow.
Right, right. So how's tomorrow shaping up?
Yeah,
It looks like I'm going to
tomorrow's
have a good
pretty
day
good.
tomorrow. Okay,
Yeah,
good, good. Glad to hear it. Glad to hear it.
Send
Uh,
that to you too for tomorrow.
yeah, that's what always is funny about when you talk to folks in Australia or Japan or across the date line, and it's like, what day is it? It's Thursday. No, it's Friday. Wait, okay,
Yeah.
yeah, never mind. It's like, I have a client that I talk to him either Thursday night my time, which is Friday morning his time, or I talk like Friday morning, which is like
Thursday
Saturday.
night.
It's
Yeah.
whatever it is. It's opposite.
Yeah.
So it's the next day, either evening for my morning or whatever. So
Whereabouts are you in
I'm in
America?
Texas. I'm in Central Time.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah.
I'm smack dab in the middle, but in the South.
Yeah.
Uh, so we've been down here complaining about cold weather because it got down to 32 degrees one night. So, and
Oh, wow.
that's not that cold, but
No.
but for us it is. So a couple of the things that I don't know if you've seen any of the emails that were coming out, but I wanted to share with you and for the recording for anyone that checks it out later. Have you been getting do you get the
Yes.
Coach Insider? Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
If anyone doesn't get that, you can actually sign up for that on the regular Coach.me site. We also have the Friday Nudge. Have you been getting those? Okay,
Yeah.
perfect. And again, for anybody that's listening that doesn't have those, there was an email that just came out, and you can share it with that, or you can find it there, or you can go to the blog, which is blog coach.me, and then the habit vault that also has where you can sign up for the Friday nudge if anyone's on there and doesn't have it. And so I put that in the chat as well. And again, we'll share it in the notes for the recording. We've been growing the Friday nudge. We're adding about 1,500 people a week. And we're going to
Oh,
start
that's good.
using that more to highlight coaches as well. So for coaches that are out there that are like, hey, I'd like to be highlighted, we're working through basically if you've gone through the certification and if you've got a keystone habit and some of those things that you're signed up for, then you're much more likely to be highlighted. So if you're not certified, I'd encourage people to reach out and do that as well, the habit coaching certification as well. So that's just some of the updates that have been out. We've also rolled out on the platform. We now have the used to you would get the payout reports when they were paying you. That's actually now available in the app where you can see which
Oh,
clients are paying you, how much they're paying you, how long they've been subscribed, all of that. Pedro, the developer, has been working on that for a couple of months in the background, and that's been rolled out now. So for those of you that have active clients, you can see that. And the nice thing about that is you can see ahead of time if there's a problem and you can reach out to support and get it fixed up. You can tell whether folks are using the referral code appropriately and do all of that and ask folks more information. So all of that's rolled out in the platform as well. And then we've done some bug fixes like we always do. So I know people were having trouble reordering goals and some things like that. So they've rolled out bug fixes for that. Again, encourage folks, if you're using, especially if you're using the Android app or the iPhone app on phone, on mobile, please go in and give a review or a like. We've updated it and we're trying to kind of regain some ground because it's been a number of years since those have been updated. And if you don't update an app, things start going wrong and then people don't like that. Um, so we're trying to catch up that review cycle and make sure that those are getting appropriate attention. And that's where a lot of those signups are coming from, is people finding it on mobile, finding the app, then they sign up for the tools, then they get interested in the coach. So for us as coaches, I'm a coach too on the platform. Having more people sign up means there's more people out there that might hire us as coaches. So it's a good thing all around. That was the major updates that I wanted to make sure we covered tonight. I mean, there's a ton of other stuff going on. Reminder for folks, this is a great time of year to be out there talking about your coaching business. I know everyone always talks about December is a terrible month. I will tell you that I have experienced that to not be true. Now, they may not start coaching till January, but it's a good month to be talking about coaching because people are thinking about stuff like family and New Year's resolutions and all of that junk. And so it's a good time, junk like it's bad, junk, good junk, but stuff. And so it's a good time a lot of times to be out talking about your business. And so I want to encourage people to keep marketing, keep talking about your business, keep putting the word out, because a lot of times if you start that in January, you've started too late. So talk about it in December. I know, Heather, you said you didn't have any big questions, but some of the stuff I've talked about, any questions come to mind or anything you need more information on?
Oh, what have you found successful then leading up to January over the last few years then with habit coaching?
So a couple of things with habit coaching. Let me take a step back. Let me talk about a framework for marketing first, and then we'll talk about some particular specifics. So what I found from a framework perspective is for people to hire you, you have to have two things. You have to have visibility and you have to have credibility. Visibility is they have to know you exist. Credibility is they have to believe that you could help them. Okay. So with that in mind, I think a lot of times it's about getting real specific about what do you do and who do you do it for. So again, with Keystone Habits, focusing on a very narrow, specific idea. This is the habit we're going to work on, and working from there to now, who is the kind of person that I want to address and work on? And then it's about putting that message out. So there it's like, what mode do you want to use? So as an example, I use a little bit of social media for visibility, but I'm not real heavy on social media because quite frankly, I don't like it. So I don't want to put a lot of energy into it. It works. There's people that do it and that's 100% of their marketing. I just don't enjoy it. But I use a combination of talking to referral partners. So these are people that I build relationships with that already have contact with the kind of people that I want to coach. And so occasionally they come across one of those people and they go, hey, you need to go talk to Scott. He helps people with that. Okay. Or B, I work with some content marketing. So in my case, I have a podcast and I go on podcasts. So those are both examples of a version of content marketing, either content I'm producing or I'm providing content for somebody else on their platform where there's an audience that might be interested in getting to know me better. And so that's, and again, you could do that with a blog, you could do that with video, those are mediums. I do a podcast because quite frankly, if you stick a mic in front of my face, I have no problem talking. I know that's shocking for anyone hearing it, but it's just, I've been that way since I was 12. I'm not one of those people that has a fear of public speaking. Stick a microphone in my mouth and give me a topic and I'm ready to go. I don't need a lot of prep time, but I don't. And back when I started the podcast, video podcasts were not a thing. So I didn't even start a video. I'm going to start a new podcast in the new year and it's going to be video based. But that idea for me is easy. So again, notice what I'm thinking about. I'm thinking about kind of three things. I'm thinking about, where is my ideal client? What are they on? If they're on Facebook and I advertise on LinkedIn and put myself out on LinkedIn, it does me no good. So some of it is, where are they? Part two is, who am I and what do I like to do? So there's some natural synergy there. And then the third bucket is sort of, what do I have available to me? So what I mean by that is, if you live in New York City, you have resources that you don't have. And if you live in the middle of nowhere in the country. It's just different resources available. So you want to be realistic about what you have available to you and work around that as well. So within that framework, then it's just a matter of producing information that works on those visibility and credibility buckets. So visibility is as simple as just putting your word out, but the credibility is a little harder. That's where, again, I've built relationships with referral partners. Why? They know, like, and trust me. And so I could borrow that, because if you go to them and you know, like, and trust them, and they know, like, and trust me, then when Heather says you need to go see Scott, some of her know, like, and trust rubs off on me, and they're more likely to actually talk to me. Or with like producing content. I've written a book. There's something about writing a book that immediately people go, oh, you must know something because you wrote a book. It's not true, but it increases your credibility. I have a podcast. That increases your credibility. I guest on other people's podcasts. That increases my credibility. So though I'm looking for opportunities to also build, I'm credible in some way. I do. And again, it doesn't have to be a podcast. It doesn't have to be public speaking. It doesn't have to be writing a book. These are examples of credibility tools. And whether you're doing that, and again, that works year round. Now, in December, I put the flavor on top of it of things like, you're ending the year. Are you further along on the goals than you were in January? That kind of thing. Are you going to feel, I work in money and time. Are you going to feel guilty after Christmas? That kind of. So I layer seasonal messages on top of that framework. So that's kind of what I've seen work really well. And again, technically year round, but to give you the example of December, that's where we are right now. And again, that's where the more you market all the time, the more consistent you are, the easier it is to do it. Does that help? What questions came to mind?
No, that's great. Thank you. That it's just getting my head back in the game. So that's helped me a lot.
Good.
Thanks.
Absolutely.
I'm not that public speaking kind of person.
You don't have to do public speaking. So what do you like? What comes easy to you?
I'm more of a writer, actually.
Okay.
Yeah. So
you could do some blog or
yeah, that's good. Yeah, when you said
paste.
that, yeah.
Yeah. If you wanted to do the content route.
Yeah. And I like the fact that you mentioned referrals, because I've sort of stepped right away from social media as well. And honestly, really the only one I want to keep is LinkedIn. So
yeah.
I think it's more about then getting out and doing the old school stuff of connecting with businesses and
even on social media. Realize all social media is technically social media is a type of referral networking.
Yeah.
Okay. It's just using a different medium to do it. And again, the people that are really good at using social media, what do? They're not only producing content, but they're interacting with people and they're sharing it with people. And, oh, this might help you. Think about it. That is the same thing we do with referral partnering in the quote old school way.
Yeah.
It's just, so again, framework is the same. Where you do it is different. You still have to build relationships. You still have to tell people what you do.
Yeah.
That's the other thing. How often have you built relationships with people and they have no idea what you do for a living?
Yeah.
You got to actually tell them what you do, not in a, hey, come buy my stuff way, but just in a, hey, this is what I love to do. It's my calling. It's what I find purpose in. And I love to help people. If you ever run into anyone that needs my help, this is what I do, and the more specific you can be, the better. Go ahead.
I love your enthusiasm. It's very contagious.
Well, but that is actually part of it. Sometimes just the fact that, haven't you ever, I tell new coaches this too. I'm like, go out and have conversations with people. And they're like, but I don't even know what I would say yet. And I'm like, it doesn't matter. You're enthusiastic about it. Because I don't know about you. I've had people come to me and be like, oh, I'm so excited about this thing. Oh, it's so cool. Oh, I'm so excited about it. And you're like, great, sign me up. What is it? It's like, you know what I mean? Just their enthusiasm kind of almost carries the day, where it's
Yeah.
like, I'm so excited that you're excited. I want to participate, So there's a degree to which sometimes being excited about it and having energy about it
Mm,
that is part of the game, because at the end of the day with
definitely.
coaching, you are the product,
Yes.
you know. As
Yes.
coaches, we're the product, not, to some level, at least you're the product. So,
Yeah. Well, thank you.
and that's how we
That,
compete with AI too,
well, yeah, being a human being,
because we could
personal.
be human. Exactly. You know, because as much as AI tries to fake enthusiasm, I don't know about you, I get really frustrated with that's a great question.
Yeah,
After about the
I
fifth
don't
time
use
you've
it.
heard it, you're like, oh, geez. Oh, I use it, but I use it as a tool, not as a replacement for other things.
Yeah.
They program it to be very polite. And so it'll say things like, gee, Scott, that was a great question. Or you'll catch it in a mistake and you'll call it out and it'll go, great catch. It's like, at some point you're like, look, I just want to hit you. It's irritating as opposed to, but when a human does that, because they can do it with nuance and,
Yeah.
tone and all of those things, it's more acceptable. So yeah, I don't think AI is going to replace coaching anytime soon. It may one day, but not today.
Yeah, well, that's good.
All right. Anything
Well,
else come to mind for questions?
no.
Okay. Well, I don't have anything else official to go. So with that, I guess I'll stop the recording at least. And then